Uh, a very wonderful good evening to all the Toastmasters and guests at the meeting today. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization initiated by the leader Ralph C. Smedley with the sole motive to improve communication and leadership skills among the members across the globe. Toastmasters International has 15,900 clubs, more than 3,45,000 members in 142 countries. Wordsmith Toastmasters Club is one of them. Toastmasters International works on the four pillars of values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. The mission of the club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, here are some codes of conduct. Kindly check if your mobile is in switched off or silent mode. Speakers who are coming to the screen, please refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. And when the speaker is on the screen, kindly refrain from having any distracting backgrounds so as to not distract the speaker. Members are requested to come in professional attire. For the benefit of the guests, all Toastmasters meetings shall be started and ended by one person called the presiding officer. Today's presiding officer is a man of many talents. Our club president, Arun Kumar. He has been the club president for this tenure and is also a traveling enthusiast and loves spending time with his family at home. Presiding officer, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Samyukta. Good evening, dear Toastmasters. So, it's been nice to have this regular meeting. It's been a long time, I believe. So, last week we had the joint meeting, and before that we had this contest and other things going on. So, good to be back with the regular meeting and having three speakers. It's great. And some of you might have been already knowing that I did my diagnosis this week. I mean, a couple of weeks back when I was not sick, when I was sick and I was not feeling well. And the results were like COVID positive. So for people who don't know, I was tested positive a couple of weeks ago. And initially I was shocked. I was nervous and I had fear as well, like what's going to happen. But I tell you, for healthy people, for people who are good with immunity, and it's little overrated. Corona is little overrated, and even coronavirus can't get well with you. I mean, it just goes off in 2 weeks. Right? It cannot be with you for longer time. So uh, it does not like to renew, just like some of the Toastmasters here. It just goes off. So my experience with Corona was not so really good. Was in fact very good because I'm going to tell you certain things that happened during this period of quarantine, 14 days of quarantine. I realized how good my family was, how caring my family was, and I was isolated in the room, and I was given a business class treatment. For people who have traveled, I mean, business class people are like, the air hostess comes and says like, uh, "How are you? How are you?" They keep asking you so many times, and they serve you food and everything like that. My parents, my wife, and like they were coming and they were saying, "How are you? How are you doing today?" And have orange juice, have apple juice, and they used to give me food with 2 eggs every day. It was so sweet of them. And my boss, when I go and ask him 1 day of leave, he asks thousands of questions to me. Why? And finally I say him like, I'll come to office tomorrow. But this time he got the news and he said like, Arun, take care, take as many days of leave as you want, and get back, be strong and things like that. I was thinking like, I'm already strong and I'm perfectly fine, but I was just trying to convince him like I'm still sick, and I was having this couple of weeks off, and it really was a good time off from the family. And to top it off all, I have a 1 year kid with me, and my wife, and I'm so sleep deprived. And this time I really used to sleep. I was sleeping like 11 to 7 in the morning, and 11 to 7 in the evening as well. So it was like two shift of sleeping. So to say you all, Corona is not really to be worried if you're really immune, good with immunity. So the bottom line is, if you're healthy and you're good with immunity, don't worry about coronavirus. It can come in and just stay for 2-3 days, and then you will will be all right. I'm a living example of that, and we have some more club members who have already overcome that. So that's the thought for the day. Be positive, and without any further delay, let me go on to the next segment where we talk to the guests. Do we have any guests today? Do we have any guests? I see Ashyat. Ashyat, can you please? Okay. Before that, I declare meeting number 592 open. Yeah, just a minute. Great. Meeting number 592 is open now. And now let's go on to the guest.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon to everybody. My name is Ashir. I'm a Bachelor of Computer Science Application graduate and currently a homemaker. I visited your club last year, just once. I liked the club very much, but it's quite far away from my home, so I didn't continue on with that. But now that this sessions are available online, I thought, okay, let me attend it. I want to broaden my horizons, so here I am.
Great, awesome. Good to see you, ma'am. Now let's go on to guest Karthikeni. Karthikeni, how did you get to know about the club, and just tell about yourself in 1 to 2 minutes?
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening to all. I am Karthikeni, residing at Coimbatore. Because I have shifted my residence place from Thiruvanmiyur to Coimbatore. Earlier, I was able to hear my voice.
Yeah. Yes.
I was a member in Medley Adayar Club.
Okay.
Long back. I'm working in the government department. I'm a government servant.
Great.
I came to know through Google.
Okay. Awesome, ma'am.
And Anantida helped me to join this club.
Okay. Thank you, Karthikeni. I hope you enjoy the meeting today. And today we have another person, Venkatesh, who is from I think Qatar. So he is going to be one of the speakers. So I would like to know his. As a guest, I would also would like to know about him. Venkatesh, how did you get to know about the club, and tell me about yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and the guests. Myself, Venkatesh, I am from Qatar. Basically, I am from Coimbatore, residing in Qatar for the last 15 years. Like COVID-19, that was making many damages to the people. And in fact, our Arun also is also worse than the COVID. He is more contagious. That his positive message is more contagious than the COVID-19. And myself, I'm working here with a construction company as a planning and claims specialist. And I thought of exploring the positive side of the COVID-19. So I thought of exploring the clubs across the world. I have given some speeches in Dubai, Italy, and other countries. So I thought of giving one speech in Chennai as well, so that I will get different feedback from different people around the world. So that's why I'm here. Thank you for accommodating me, and back to you, President.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh, and nice to see that people travel around through virtual platform in Toastmasters. So, and now we have Dinesh Selvaraj. Dinesh, how did you get to know about the club? Dinesh Selvaraj. Okay, fine. So now we also have our area director with us, Toastmaster Vaishali. So I'll just let the area director to speak a couple of words for the club. Vaishali.
Good evening to all the members of the Wordsmith family. We are already a couple of minutes in the schedule, so I'm not going to take much of your time. I don't have any concrete update or something to pass on. I've just come here to enjoy the meeting of today's evening. Nothing else, so just all open ears and open eyes to see what is happening. As you all know, so Wordsmith has been one of the zealous clubs in Chennai, the long-standing club. So every time I come, all your legacy and lineage gives me at least some kind of a learning to take back. So looking forward to take back something today as well. So that's it. So let me sit back and enjoy. Over to the presiding officer again.
Thank you so much, Area Director Toastmaster Vaishali. Now, any Toastmasters meeting will be run by one person called the Master of Ceremony or the Toastmaster of the Day. And today's Toastmaster of the Day is a person who loves what he does. And this person is a trainer. He has trained so many government officials, and he loves English, and he is one of the senior Toastmasters in the club, and he's the past president. Without any further delay, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran to be the Master of Ceremony.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and lovely guests, a warm good evening to you all. It gives me a great pleasure to be the Toastmaster of the day for this wonderful meeting. Recently, I conducted a short seminar, or rather webinar, for 45 minutes. The title was Make Every Day a Quality Day. I began with a story which is a most often heard one, yet a powerful one. The story goes like this. 3 people were laying bricks, and a passerby asked them what they were doing. The first one replied, "Don't you see I am making a living?" The second one said, "Don't you see I am laying bricks?" Whereas the third one said, with a smiling face, "I am building a beautiful monument." 3 people doing the same job gave a totally different replies. The question is, what made them say differently? Can some of you? I would say it's perception. Perception matters a lot. And would their perception make a difference? The answer is a clear yes. I have a question to you, the audience, lovely audience. Besides perception, what else is the important hidden message you see? Can I have one or two, a couple of answers?
Having a passion in what you do. Having a passion in what you do. And also love what you do.
When you love what you do,
Yes.
you do what you love.
Yes. The mantra is, if we love what we do, truly a magical moment happens. Be it speaking, singing, any task you do, or any performance for that matter. That is what Steve Jobs very beautifully said. The only way to do a great job is to love what you do. My dear friends, let us love what we are supposed to do at our meeting today. Love what we do is the theme of the day that I brought out. Whoever mentions and relates to the theme will be recognized and rewarded with applause. Great. Moving on to the flow of the meeting, for the purpose of guests, every Toastmasters meeting has 3 segments. The first one is the prepared speeches, wherein the Toastmasters prepare their speeches, meeting with the objectives, practice it, and perform it. The second segment called table topic segment, which is otherwise known as impromptu, extempore. Okay. And then comes evaluation task, which will be performed by the general evaluator with his team members. To know more about it, let me invite someone who is a Toastmaster for more than a decade. He is into technical training, professional from vertical transportation domain. On the theme, what he says is, love what I do is something that every professional realizes by default. When the desired results appear, wonderful. And before I hand this screen to him, I must add that he and I have many similarities. Namely, he was in Dubai, I too was in Dubai, and we met each other. You won't believe, we met each other at Toastmasters Club in Al Futtaim, Wimpy. He is a trainer, so am I. And most interestingly, he is a handsome personality. I now leave it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster K.G. Guna as a general evaluator. The round of applause, please.
A warm good evening to everyone. This is the trouble with our TMOD today. Not today. You come with a lot of plannings and all that, and then he comes out with something like he is handsome, and then he's trying to, make a comparison statement, and that puts me off. I can't. See, handsome is what? It's not physical anymore. You should be like somebody like Paul Bhaskaran, who is by default an entertainer, a singer, a showman, right? Anyway, thank you, Paul Bhaskaran, for trying to bring me a bit closer to your personality. Generally, I love what I do. And when I was requested to take up this particular role today, I don't know how many of you know what I'm going to say now. This is the first ever venture for me with Chennai Wordsmith. I am 2 years in Chennai after my retirement from Middle East. For the past 2 years, I'm here. I've been looking for opportunities to come into a club or do something together. It never happened, and thanks to Abhishek, who made it happen. Loving what I do has been a mantra ever since I joined Toastmasters almost a decade back. But today, with the kind of halo effect Chennai Toastmasters Club has, I am a bit nervous because I believe in being critical when you perform your role as a general evaluator. But I've heard and I have reasons to believe that it's very difficult to be critical with such a club, 592. Is it going to be a tough job for me, or I'm going to love it once again? All right, as you all know, the 85 plus almost 90 years of time-tested methodologies, what Toastmasters International has in its credit. It's customary that a general evaluator is helped to do his job better by a team called tag team, and then a few professional evaluators who will also be evaluating the speakers today. So that way, it's my pleasure to request the tag team to come up and then let everybody know what they are up to. To start with, I would request the timer, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. Can you come on board? Come on camera and let everyone know what's your role today. Toastmaster Arun. You are muted. You are muted.
Still? Can you hear me now?
No, now it's okay. You are out of the quarantine now. Now you can have your voice.
Yeah. So as a timer, my role is to remind, record, and report the time used by each speaker with respect to the segment that they deliver the speeches. So for the table topics, it would be 2 to 3 minutes. I'd be showing green virtual background when you hit 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and red at 6 minutes. For the icebreaker speech, it would be 4 minutes you would be seeing green, and 5 minutes it would be yellow, and 6 minutes it would be red. For the other speeches, it would be 5 minutes green, 6 minutes at yellow, and 7 minutes at red. When the general evaluator calls me during the end of the meeting, I will provide my report as well. Just to remind you, please pin my video to see the change in the screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Timer. That was short and sweet. Let's now have the R counter on the camera. R counter Toastmaster Arvind Annamalai. Please go ahead, Toastmaster Arvind.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As an R counter for today's meeting, my job is to report the audible and inaudible fillers, pauses, and repetitive words used by all the speakers in today's meeting, be the prepared speeches, table topic speakers, and the evaluators. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I'll present my report. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, R counter. Let's have the grammarian of the meeting today, Toastmaster Radha Thambuswamy, please.
As the grammarian, I shall keep track of good and not so good usage of English language. I will also keep note of speakers who use the word of the day and theme of the day in their speeches. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I shall present my report. Today, the word of the day is zealous. All the best to all.
Thank you so much. That was very well done. And now I should give the control back to the TMOD. We have 3 speakers today lined up and 3 evaluators who will also be introduced as and when they come in. Over to Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, the TMOD of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the general evaluator. You briefed along with your team members wonderfully. It's time to move on to the speech segment. Before I call on the first speaker to the screen, may I request the evaluator of the speech, DTM, Reena, to let us know the project objectives, please. Reena?
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Chennai Wordsmith, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, who is going to give her Project 1 icebreaker. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Good luck to Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. We are looking forward to this speech, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Reena. And to talk about the speaker, she is a training consultant. The speaker is a training consultant, corporate trainer, a neuro-linguistic program, and a charter member of Wordsmith and past president of Chennai Wordsmith. And on the theme, what she says is, she believes that life extends into our work, and we love whatever we do. It motivates and keeps us connected and grounded. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas to deliver her speech. Jyoti Thomas, Polpuri. Polpuri, that is how it is spelled, I believe. Polpuri, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. It's yours.
Potpourri. Wow. See who we have right here. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and all my awesome guests. I'm going to quickly ask you to do something. Are you all there? May I see everybody's lovely face? Okay. Put your hands together. May I request all of you to put your hands together, and you're going to go spray, spray, spray. Show some zeal. Love what you do. Spray, spray, spray. Thank you. Isn't that awesome? We are a bunch of potpourri. Who is she? Who is she? That lady? Oh my God. Don't even ask. She is such a pain. She's terrible. Oh, I love her. You have no idea
She gave me a tough time when I couldn't do my project. Is that right? She was awesome with me. I am in the US because of her. What do you think, little one? Oh, I love that auntie. She is so cool. She runs and has fun. Or really, sometimes her mouth goes like a gun. What is going on here? Well, we're very sorry. We have to go. Who is she? That's a zillion question. Who is she? Born on the 1st, with number 1 on right there. A Leo, by the zodiac. Firstborn, number 1, and a zeal. Full of zeal, who loves to do whatever she does and makes sure it's done and never dusted. It may not have been too long. Being brought up in a joint family, wherever she went, everything was a family. Moving on from school, failure was always, whatever she did, her daddy's best tool. He always looked at her and said, never mind. It's just a year gone by. You will still keep learning. Not a minute was stopped. Every time he rocked. Her dad was her hero. Her mom said, give more time to listen. Listening was the pin, the king in her life right through. Soon before you realize, the love bugs bite. She found somebody, flew off to Canada. That was when you realize the zeal, the fervence, the commitment of all that she loved to do kept popping up. A land unknown was when she realized, while flying down, right by as a transition group, there was a lady who asked her, well, where did you learn English? She very pompously said, just now while flying over the Atlantic. It was very interesting. She did have a lovely bone of humor. Life wasn't that easy in Canada, but she loved it. Winter, which took her knee right down to the snow, whipping the back through the bitter snow. The worst of times never stopped the zeal that she could take it forward. A joint family again there, the first daughter of the household, a husband who loved her forever and always supported through with complete commitment. Commitment I showed, but skill not alone was there. She carried with her, and along with that went not just the skill, but the trait of an Indian that was brought up in a family that showed zillion characteristics, the vision like a diamond, clarity shining right through. It was the traits that gave her the job. Never a moment was it the certificates that took it all. Life wasn't easy, and it went on for several years, till the 90s brought her back here. In Canada was the time the traits gave her 5 jobs at the fast food joint, at a fabric store, at an awesome high-end TD Bank, which was the top-end, high security, prioritized data center. The skills came for her from India. It was soon time to bid goodbye when travel brought her back to India. Back and forth, 6 months at a time, it was saying, toodly-doo, tata, how do you do? Before you realize, I didn't know, or rather, that's what she told me. She didn't know where she was going. Interestingly, India had so much to offer. Like we always say, put yourself, put your life. Today she is what she is because she loves what she does. She does it with a passion, with a deep commitment. And all that what everybody had to say at the start of this program clearly states that she had the perseverance to demand the best job. She had the love to make sure when you put yourself right there, give it your all. She was called as nothing short of than a sergeant major. She most certainly was loved. as much as even a minor, be it a major. Love that you come in shows what you need. Throughout the life, this was the third inning. First was then, next was now, and soon now is going to be the never ending. Before you realize, what has the present got to offer? The present is soon to be coming in the next day. So there is no end to what we say or do. What comes very, very interestingly to one's mind is, if you do not fight for what you want, if you do not extend your life, when you say it's a help, it's never a help till you go the extra mile. With that, the life of that lady, with the Leo as a zodiac sign, she started off into a social entrepreneur, social responsibility, very clear program. I would like to end my talk with a last word. If you don't go out and say who you are, somebody else will say it completely different for you. With that, I see a red and I leave it to you all with the potpourri. Love what you do. Thank you. Over to you, President of the Day.
Am I audible? I'm audible and visible. I'm on mobile. My net is down. Connect is down. Can you all hear me? I have some answers, please. Can you all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes, it is time to call upon the speaker. First, let me first his evaluator, Toastmaster Karthikeyan, read out his objectives to talk about. Yeah, can we have?
Yes, Paul Bhaskaran. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My speaker is attempting his project, which is titled Question and Answer Session. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. The time duration for this speech is 15 to 20 minutes. I request the speaker to indicate the timer regarding the breakup of your time limits when you would like to have the green, amber, and red being displayed, and also would like you to indicate the timer whether the question and answer session is included in this 15 to 20 minutes speech duration of yours. Before you start your presentation, I'd request the speaker to kindly indicate the timer about these requirements and then proceed ahead with the speech of yours. All the very best to you. Back to the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Okay, it's time to talk about the speaker. We have is it audible? Yeah, to talk about the speaker, we have someone who is holding Vice President Education, enthusiastic Toastmaster. He's a qualified chartered accountant, an aspiring CFA, working in a global equity research industry. On the theme, what he says is, he loves to spend time for himself and he loves to teach. Probably I need to learn a lot from his teachings about how to go about the internet and so on. Literally the connection was down. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the second speaker, Toastmaster Abhishek. The speech title is Impact Investing. Impact Investing, Toastmaster Abhishek. Good luck to the speaker.
My dear Toastmasters, did you know fast fashion industries consume highest non-renewable energy sources, emit highest greenhouse gases, and consume massive amount of water and other resources? Just for an instance, this t-shirt requires 700 gallons of water, and a pair of jeans requires 2000 gallons of water. Happy evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Most of us here are investing in the stock market, right? But what do we expect out of that investment? We expect to have a higher rate of return for the investments that we made. And that is the reason all the corporates are working hard to maximize the shareholder value. But in the recent times, following all the scandals that we had and also internal bias within the corporates, global investors have changed their eyes from a financial return to a corporate social responsibility. The corporate should be responsible for the societal concerns that they are encountering due to their business. Global investor requires the corporates to integrate their social responsibility into their normal operating businesses. As an individual investor like us, what can we do in this path of sustainable investment, or also called as an impact investment? As an investor, we always look for a strong financial performance before investing in that particular company. Say, for example, be it profit or be it P multiple, what we look upon in the company. But before looking upon that, we must also look upon what are the responsibilities that the corporate has towards the society. How much are they ensuring their value to the society? I agree. The corporate should have these kinds of responsibility. But how do we measure it? How can I know that the corporate is fulfilling its social responsibility? The question arises in all of us, right? A decade back, United Nations launched an initiative called as an ESG framework, which is nothing but environmental, social, and governance initiative. Based on this framework, an investor can ensure whether a company or a corporate fulfills its responsibility to the society or not. But what does this ESG mean? Let us have a look at this. In environmental, we are concerned about the climate. Before we start with this, these are just a broad indicators of what can possibly be included in this ESG factors. So coming back to this climate, what can we look upon a climate and a corporate? We can look upon what is the carbon emission made by the corporates. What are the steps taken by the corporates to reduce their emission? So in case we can reduce the pollution and we can also safeguard the ozone layer. The next in line is the natural resources. What are the resources the company is using for its raw material, for its supply, for its workforce? How much is the non-renewable resources that the company uses? What are the steps taken by the company to redeploy the non-renewable resources into the society, or to convert to a renewable sources from a non-renewable source? Pollution and waste. What are the steps taken to reduce the pollutions maybe it's air pollution, water pollution, or land pollution. And regarding waste, one of the recent trends in waste is electronic waste. Many industries is not at all properly depleting the electronic waste, which is safeguarding the environment. Rather, they go for a cheapest way to deplete the electronic waste. This must be put into a question. How many companies are taking steps in depleting the electronic waste in a proper fashion for the environment? And the environmental opportunities. We are talking a lot of green initiatives, go green initiatives and all. How much is the company following that go green initiatives? On social, what is the labor safety that the company provides? What are the learning and development fields that are available for the company? How much diversity that the company is allowing to have? And on product, is the product quality one? Is it satisfying the ISI benchmark or any other benchmark? Are other data and privacies are secured enough? And are they having a proper human rights and allowing the customers to have an after sales service? On the governance, we have board and industry, which is nothing but the board of the company should be transparent enough to let the shareholders know what is happening in the company, be that a problem or intricacies within the management, or be that a problem for the customers. The board must be transparent enough to let all know what is in the company. On the industry, the industry must be competent enough to let others know what is there from the company. These are few companies which providing ESG rating services, which as an investor we can look upon and let to know about the company more and more. Okay, as an individual investor, how can we make sure that we are having a sustainable investment? Here are some quick techniques to do that. Number one is an inclusion technique. We came across a lot of news every day in our newspaper, which can be something of a good news that the company is promoting Go Green initiatives. We can try to include that stock in our portfolio. The second thing is we are coming across some lawsuits against a company. We can try to exclude that stock from our portfolio. Or the easy way is to go and rely upon some service provider ESG ratings that are being provided by the raters. My dear Toastmasters, we must be making sure that we value the society that we live in. It's time for us to give a pass and make sure that we are making an impact to the society through our investment. As I said in the beginning, fashion industries are changing towards renewable sources of materials that they can use instead of non-renewable sources. Try to encourage those brands and try to build a sustainable environment through your sustainable investment. Thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity, and I open the screen for questions and answers.
Can you name some brands which have already in use of the products that you have been saying about this fashion industry and other stuff?
Okay, so Nike is one among them, which is trying to use a renewable sources of companies, and L Brands is also one among them. Adidas, many international brands are trying to shift towards that.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Can we have the next question, please?
Hi, Abhishek. This is Sasi Kumar. So when India is looking at Make in India, taking it to the next level, and that means a lot of opportunities are presented to the local companies, right? So how these companies are faring when it comes to ESG context? Can you name some companies who are already doing a better job?
Okay, in India, the ESG integration is very less if you go for a Make in India companies that are particularly deployed for that purposes. I don't find any companies, to be honest, in that perspective. But maybe let me look upon that once more and get back with you during offline. I think the time is running out. If we have any questions, can we have a quick last question, please? Okay, so thank you. I will end this session. Thank you so much for patiently listening to my small brief on ESG integration. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster of the day.
Yeah, that was an impactful speech on impact investment. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhishek. Moving on to the third speaker, let me request his evaluator, Toastmaster Sasikumar, to spell out.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and visiting Toastmasters and dear guests. My target speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh, is attempting level 5 from Leadership Development Path.
Are you there?
The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and apply the skills needed to run a lessons learned meeting during a project or after its completion. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her leadership experience and the impact of a lessons learned meeting. All the very best to Toastmaster Venkatesh, and over to you, T.M. Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasikumar, for reading of the objectives. To talk about the speaker, we have someone who has come all the way from Qatar via Zoom. He is a Master of Technology degree in Civil, MBA Finance, and Master of Laws. A certified professional in project management. On the theme, what does he say? You live once, love what you do with mindfulness. Wonderfully said. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Toastmaster Venkatesh for delivering his speech. The speech title is Being Resourceful, Lessons Learned. Being Resourceful, Lessons Learned, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Venkatesh, the stage is yours.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Few weeks before, one of my friends called me for a party. I went to the party straight away from my office. After half an hour, my phone rang. That was my wife. Where are you? I said, I'm in the office. I'll come a bit late. Okay, she kept. After 5 minutes, again she called me. I checked with your office. You are not in the office. After that, what happened? I will leave for you to imagine. The same friend called me last week for a party again. That time, before going, I called my reception. If any call comes, tell them I'm in the office. Yeah, lessons learned. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and the most welcome guests. Today, in my speech, I'm going to deliver what the lessons I have learned from a recent marriage we have organized during the lockdown period. In my speech, I'll talk to you about the marriage and the problems what we have faced and what are the lessons I have learned during the event. Let me share this. Can you all see the screen? To give a background, we have organized my nephew's marriage before the lockdown. Due to the lockdown, it was keep postponing. Eventually, we have organized the marriage last 24th of August. The number of guests expected were 60, and myself took the lead of coordinating with all the members to organize this marriage. If you plan to fail, you are planning to fail. A quote by Benjamin Franklin. So we have planned. We have divided the activities, what is required: purchase, logistics, dining, hall and decoration, cooking, and accommodation. We have prepared a plan. We have assigned the team players, and also we have allocated the budget for this event. The completion date for each was set, and then this plan we have circulated among all the team members to know what is their task, what is their responsibility. How a plan goes without challenges. Well, we didn't face any problems during the purchase, logistics, or dining. Everything went well. But for the hall, we were not able to get any hall due to the COVID situation. Otherwise, the rates were very high. There was a discussion when we were discussing with the team members what we can do. Everyone was coming with different opinions. And then one of my team members suggested, we have got a big garden at home, which can easily accommodate 100 people. Why can't we use that one? Yeah, resourcefulness. What you have tried to take the maximum from the available resources. That was a good idea. We implemented the thing. And then once it comes for cooking, again, same issue. We were not able to get any vessels for rental due to the COVID. And then for that also, we are a big family. 5 families living together. It's a joint family. So we took all the vessels from our family and from the nearby house that we have used. Otherwise, without that, we would not be in a position to do. And then for the accommodation, we have only plan A. There was no plan B. We have booked hotels through OYO. By the night, once guests went there, first of all, the hotel, it was no more in tie-up with OYO. Secondly, even if you were ready to pay on the spot, there was a local restriction by the government not to entertain any guests. With a lot of difficulties, we have completed the event successfully. The marriage was done. A happy lockdown has been happened. And then I have prepared a lessons learned. What mistakes we have done during this organization, because normally in the family functions we don't do. But since I was doing this as a project, I have listed out, okay, first thing, the lessons learned, listen to your team. A good leader will listen to the team. Number 2, always have an alternative backup plan. If plan A goes fail, go for plan B. In the case of accommodation, we didn't have any plan B. So that guests, without calling us during the midnight, that poor souls spend their night in the hall. Third thing, resourcefulness. Normally now the culture is like use and throw. Buy anything, use, throw, that be it any plastic cup to the mobiles. Before that, try to be resourcefulness, try to use the materials, whatever available with you. And then the benefit of planning and teamwork. Fellow Toastmasters, that project gave me a good lesson, so like what I should not repeat in my next project. I hope you will also use these lessons learned. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster of the day.
Wonderful. Your speech, Toastmaster Venkatesh, thank you very much. Your speech was full of resourcefulness. Good job, you are done. Let's give a round of applause to all the 3 zealous speakers who have delivered their zestful speeches. Let's applaud. Please unmute and applaud. Timer, please advise me if all the speakers qualified for voting.
Yes. Yes, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, audience to vote for the best prepared speaker when the link is provided at the chat box later at a later point of time. Friends, it is, yeah, now it has come. Kindly vote. Take a couple of seconds and to do that. Friends, it is said, nothing great is ever achieved without showing passion and love. You know who said it? It was said by a great motivational speaker, Paul Bhaskara.
Paul Bhaskara.
All right. Now, the next segment comes, the much awaited one, which is table topics. To take it forward, we have yet another zealous Toastmaster who is the part-time blogger, full-time student. On the theme, what she says is loving what she does has always been key to making a lot of her endeavors a successful one. Friends, please help me welcome the table topics master for today is Toastmaster Samyukta. With a round of applause, please.
Thank you, everyone. So for the benefit of the guests, table topic session is usually where I give you all topics on the spot, and the speakers are required to improvise and speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. But today, I thought let's do something different. Now, when I go to these intercollegiate or inter-school events, there is always one event that is there at just about every organization, and it is called Shipwreck. Now, the event isn't as much as a shipwreck as anyone can think it is. It's actually a really nice event. So I thought we could have something like that for today's table topic session. Now, what we will be doing is, the question is common for everybody. The ship is sinking and you are all on it. There is only one life jacket left, and all of you have 1 to 2 minutes to prove why you deserve that jacket. So, of course, the theme of today is not just loving what you do, but loving yourself and showing your strengths in those 2 minutes to deserve the life jacket. So, I would like to call Toastmaster Manoj to go first.
So if I understand correctly, topic is saying the ship is sinking and you have to prove how you deserve the last jacket that is left. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. The ship is sinking and the only person who can help the ship not to sink is the engineer who knows the ship very well, and I am that engineer. So you have to allow me to use that life jacket. I should go outside and see all the possibilities so that I can help you people to be out of this situation. So this is what I think, and I deserve this jacket. Over to you, Samyukta.
Thank you, sir. For the second speaker, I would like to have guest Karthikeyani. Guest Karthikeyani, are you here? Can you hear me? All right then. We'll have guest Ashia. Yes. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Okay. See, all of you people who are on the ship, you're all, you've seen a lot in life. I have a small son. I need to bring him up. I need to help him. So I don't know. This is difficult for me. Okay, I end it. Please give to somebody else.
All right, then. Thank you very much. The next speaker I would like to call is DTM Reena ma'am. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, our table topics master has given this life jacket. The life jacket, you need to give it to me for one thing. I can tell you that this entire ship, I think this entire ship is full of Toastmasters. And one thing that I can do here is what I love doing in Toastmasters is mentoring. So if I get this life jacket, what I would be able to do is to ensure in the future all the Toastmasters are ready by mentoring them how to get this life jacket. So if I am alive, there will be another probably 50, including our president. He would vouch that this should be given to me. The captain of this ship, Chennai Wordsmiths, I'm sure Toastmaster Arun will say, yes, give it to my mentor, because I think learning is so important. So what we do is to share the learning. So the learning of getting this particular life jacket for myself, so that I will go ahead and help save the future generation by mentoring them how to get the life jacket. Thank you so much. Please give it to me, Toastmaster Samyukta. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that great response. I would like to next have Toastmaster Arvind.
Fellow Toastmasters, table topics master. There's only one life jacket in the ship, and it should be given to me because I am pursuing engineering, and not only I will save the life in the ship present here without the need of a life jacket, but I'll also ensure that future ships which are built are safe and it withstands various situations and it will not sink further. So not only the life in the ship is saved, further such accidents will be prevented if the life jacket is given to me. Also, I'll make a better place to live, make the world a better place to live, and since water transport is quite risky, I'll develop other forms of transportation as well, like land, air, rail, etc., which are comparatively safer, and such accidents can be prevented. Over to the tabletop master.
Thank you very much, Arvind, for that great response. I would like to next have General Evaluator Guna, sir, if you would like to give it a go.
Who else it could be? Almost 15 years back, when I wanted to become a Toastmaster, and then when I accomplished my Toastmaster's role, within the first 2 years, I realized that I'm able to connect to the world well. I'm able to say, hey, the whole world stops and looks back at me. Why? I'm able to communicate well. I'm able to convince well. I'm able to define and redefine my purpose of life well because of the communication ability and the leadership qualities what the Toastmasters taught me. And who else is worth living? Who else deserves that safety jacket more than me? So that I make this world a better place to live, not only for me, but for numerous thousands of people around me. And then probably I'll also devise a method to see that enough life jackets are always available, more than what is required in every ship, be it a sinking ship or a floating ship. Back to the TT Master.
Thank you, sir, for that great response. We are running short of time, so I will accommodate one last TT speaker. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas.
Interesting. It's about shipwreck. Unlike what everybody said, I'm just going to sit back and tell them, hey, you know what? You take it. I don't need it. After all, I've lived my life well. So with that, I can bet you my bottom dollar, they're going to be wondering, there has to be something up her sleeve. I'm going to let them believe. And like Mr. Paul Bhaskar just said, everything is perception. I'm going to visualize the ship was very close to the shore, so it's not going to sink. Probably it's just going to be a big hype saying it's sinking. I'm going to put my feet up, and I know for all that I know that what charity begins at home, and I've used it to the T. So there's a magical wonder. The jacket will be given to me. Thank you.
I think I can accommodate one more speaker. Is guest Karthikeni here now? Can you hear me? Okay, I think she's got some technical glitch going on. I would like to call our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, and see if he'd like to have a go. So, yes.
Yes, I am ready. What is the topic you said?
The topic is that all of the Toastmasters in this meeting are in a sinking ship, and there's only one life jacket. Why do you deserve that jacket?
Okay. Yes, like you said, charity begins at home. Whatever you do, the good thing, let it start from the Toastmasters journey. So what I will do is I grab that, and then I will put myself and then try to save people around. Only if I am safer, definitely I can think of others. Dear friends, first of all, you need to be at a safer place. Only then you can. So you have to smile. Only then the others will follow you. So, my dear friends, if you are good to others, my dear friends, you are best to yourself. Thank you very much.
So I will conclude the TT session, and that was the last speaker. If you all could just give me 1 minute, I will launch the poll for best TT speaker anytime.
Are you still on?
Yes. I would like to let you all know that there were a few time disqualifications, and the qualified speakers have been added in the polling list.
Let the timer, say that. It's time now to vote for the best TT speaker. It is listed already. Kindly take a few seconds and do that. And Toastmasters, don't you think that was indeed an amazing session conducted by Toastmaster Samyukta? Please, let's give applause, round of applause. All right. Now, the evaluation and perfection go hand in hand. But what comes first is evaluation. Now, here comes the general evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcoming Toastmaster Guna to conduct the session.
Thank you so much, TM Modi. We will definitely get into the business quickly. Ladies and gentlemen and Toastmasters and my dear guests, as you all know, change is the only constant. But if you go one step ahead, change for better is still a better constant. So our own evaluators have come with the sole purpose and aim to make the speaker feel great, be on the cloud nine at the end of the evaluation, but also to take home some values of betterments, how to do it better, So that way, without much ado, I'm going to request our DTM Reena to come up to evaluate the project speech of Toastmaster Jyoti R. Thomas. Madam Toastmaster Reena, please on the screen.
Good evening, everybody, and a very special good evening to Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. You are indeed a persuasive influencer. The way you broke the ice, my goodness, you made us pray. I was wondering, what is she doing? What is that action? It was almost like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star kind of enthusiasm. The zealous that you brought in was like child. And that's how an icebreaker has to begin. I learned that so beautifully expressed. So what you immediately I can jump onto it. What you excelled was the body language, the vocal variety that you brought in. My goodness, she, your fans and foes, both were talking about you. Oh, I don't like her. Oh, wow, that auntie is so good. Sure, she is a gun. You are having fun. No, she is a gun. The kind of brought in right at the beginning, you were able to grab the attention of each and every. A Leo, a firstborn, full of zeal. Joint family, and throughout your life you have been joint family structure. How beautifully you brought it out. And of course, like every daughter, every princess, that's hero, and you told that. And from there, how you moved to Canada and what kind of struggles were there. You were very clear in saying that about the potpourri over here, but you definitely spoke about the struggles and how beautifully you brought each one of that. That you had a lovely bone of humor was also something, even that you were bringing out. The various places that you worked at, and your love, your honey, your hubby was always loved you so much. The various occupations that you were, joint fabric store, high tech data center, and that you were shunting between India and Canada. The various stuff that you were to recommend something. Since it's an icebreaker, I'm going to limit it to only recommendations. I would have loved to know the name of your first hero and your current hero, your hubby. So because that gives that kind of a personal touch to the speech per se, and also the impact that you were able to create at the was a little low towards a conclusion. It is attributed to the timing. The beautiful script, you had a beautiful flow, and about the you were talking throughout, there was this timing that was happening which made you to go in for a hurried conclusion. I'll have to ask you to work on something. It would be to read speech and to happily have a powerful conclusion and conclude it within the time limit. That's probably possible when you do your rehearsals with your timing device. So that is the only thing that I have, that you probably to make this nervous free or probably zealous speech to conclude to. Otherwise, Toastmaster Jyoti, you are definitely a potpourri spraying the fragrance of enthusiasm and a persuasive influence for us to create our own identity. Love what we do. Looking forward to your future speeches, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Over to you.
Thank you so much, DTM Arena. May I now request Toastmaster Karthikeyan to come up to evaluate the speech project of Toastmaster Abhishek. Toastmaster Karthikeyan, please.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And to my speaker in particular, Toastmaster Abhishek, warm good evening to you. What more can I expect from a qualified chartered accountant, an aspiring CFA student who has literally shown us today how good and how expert he is in the given field on shares market and investments. A very interesting topic chosen. A lot of take-home points from this topic. It is a very, very new concept which I have come across today, ESG. I haven't heard about this concept earlier. I shouldn't say, I play once in a while in share market. And as an investor, this terminology has been of a great help to me today. And thank you so much, Abhishek, for sharing your knowledge. It is a very well researched topic, and the presentation was also well done. You have come out with a PPT which was easy to understand, and I think people who are new to this topic wouldn't have found it difficult understanding what this concept is all about. On the whole, in the given time limit, you have given this complex topic, you have made very, very easy for the audience, and I think the audience would be taking a good, maybe taking a wise decision if they're going ahead investing in the stock market. But I have some suggestions for you if I ever want to see this good speech into an excellent speech going forward. At the beginning, you were saying that what do we expect from investment? You raised this question, which was very good, which I liked a lot, but you could have expected answers from the audience, which you failed to do so. I felt that connect was missing there when you didn't leave the audience to respond to this question. Maybe you could pause for a few seconds and then expect the audience to respond to your question, and that will show how much the audience are involved in your presentation. There was this terminology which you used called PE ratio, which I, as a commerce graduate, postgraduate, know what it is. It's a price earning ratio, but then people who are new to this field may not be knowing if you use the short term PE. So when you're going forward in any of your presentation, if you're using this terminology, expand it so that the newcomers will also get to know what these terminologies are and how they are useful in this as a financial tool. Other than these two suggestions that I have for you to make your speech better the next time, your speech was on the whole good, and I would rate it 9 out of 10, considering these two feedbacks that I have from my side. I wish you all the very best and looking forward for your future speeches. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
General Evaluator, you are on mute.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. May I now request Toastmaster Sasi Kumar to come up to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Sasi Kumar, please be on the screen. Thank you.
Respected General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and special greetings to my target speaker, Toastmaster Venkatesh, for delivering such a wonderful speech. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, that was a powerful quote, well demonstrated both in that marriage and also in your speech. Very well done, Toastmaster Venkatesh. My first thumbs up for your speech is the topic what you selected. From the project objectives and the way you are groomed up there, I thought it's going to be one another team members meeting, a lot of other stuff, professional stuff. But the twist in the tail was the marriage setup. Marriage as a project, what you brought in was fantastic. Really, that was a bigger quotient which I never expected. So what that made, since we all know what is marriage, what is being done in marriage, we all got straight away got into the groove of what you're going to speak. And that shows that you are fully aware about the audience. You don't want to bore them with your professional team meetings. Your audience awareness quotient was at high. And also the knack of, you had that knack of kindling interest into that marriage, the way it has been planned. Very well done. My second thumbs up on your speech was the planning elements you brought into the marriage. I'm sure all of us would have seen a marriage or got involved into a marriage and you would have done what you have done. But we have never understood so much of planning stuff gets into the marriage, and you have made it as a perfect project. You had team members and you have assigned with certain areas where they have to work, and also you had a Gantt chart, and also you had a budget. What else, how marriage, I have never thought planning can, in the marriage, planning can inculcate so much of leadership value in one. Again, very well done, Toastmaster Venkatesh. Now, to take this speech to next level, I have only one recommendation. The project clearly talks about two things. It talks about the experience of the member when he had that project planning. And the second part, very, very important, is the impact what the member has gotten when he was in the project. So we have got to know many of your learning experience and the way you were so resourceful and we were so accommodative. But I felt that impact portion was missing. Maybe you could have articulated the impact learning what you had, maybe into your future projects. That would have helped in understanding or meeting the project objectives. Overall, it was a very good speech. It had a great interest point about marriage. The planning had come out very well. Maybe with better articulation of impact, this speech would have gone to the next level. Looking forward for more speeches, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasi Kumar. Now, may I request the timer to help me find out if there is any disqualification based on the time amongst the three evaluators. Timer, please.
Yeah, the qualified speakers are Karthikeyan and Shashi Kumar today.
Okay. As per the old school of thought, normally when there are only two in the fray, we never used to have voting, but now I think it is possible. Please go ahead and vote for the best evaluator among the two qualified evaluators. Please go ahead. I think the voting is accomplished already, or should I give them some time?
So we're done. We're done.
It's done. Okay, thank you so much for that feedback. Now let me request my tag team to tighten their seat belts. In fact, all others have to tighten their seat belts. They'll be relaxed in giving their report. Okay, the tag team is ready. I'll go with the timer, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. The overall timing report, please.
Yes, I think there was a bit of confusion with the share screen and the screen that was shared as well. So I had to share screen later on because I believe that certain number of contestants or the people did not get to see my, they did not pin and they were not able to see. Sorry for that. So today we had prepared speeches from Jyoti Thomas, 7 minutes and 24 seconds, Abhishek, 7 minutes and 50 seconds. It's 10 minutes and 8 seconds, of which allotted 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Venkatesh was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Table topic, Manoj, 56 seconds, Karthik Keni, 35 seconds, or the other, I think it was the other guest who was 35 seconds. Reena, 1 minute and 7 seconds. Arvind, 1 minute and 1 second. Guna, 1 minute, 15 seconds. Jyoti Thomas, 1 minute and 1 second. And in the evaluation, it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds for Toastmaster DTM Reena. Karthikeyan, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Shashi Kumar, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster Guna.
Thank you. A timer of the meeting. Our counter, Toastmaster Arvind. Toastmaster Arvind, I'm a bit curious. Is it a spelling mistake or you have T instead of D?
Numerology.
Okay. Okay, Toastmaster Arvind. Go ahead with your our counters report. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me share my screen. So we had 3 powerful prepared speeches. First speech, icebreaker speech by Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, which had only one unintentional pause. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Abhishek, who had delivered a really long speech, but due to his excellent preparation and groundwork, there were not much fillers. There were only 2 unintentional pauses towards the end. And the last speech, the third speech by Toastmaster Venkatesh, had 1 and more than 3 unintentional pauses. Coming to the table topics, Toastmaster Manoj Dubey had 1 unintentional pause. And our guest Ashiyat had 1 R, 1 so and 1 unintentional pause, as well as 1 repetition. DTM Reena had no fillers and no pauses and no repetition. Toastmaster Arvind had 2 and 1 unintentional pause. Toastmaster Guna, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas, and Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran, no one had any fillers. So giving table topics without any fillers is really commendable, and I think they deserve an applause for that. Now coming to the evaluators, DTM Reena had no fillers, no pauses, and no repetitions, which is applaudable. Toastmaster Karthikeyan had 1 and 1 and, as well as 1 unintentional pause. Toastmaster Sasi Kumar had 1 unintentional pause and 1 repetition. This concludes my report. Over to the General Evaluator. General Evaluator, you are on mute.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind, the R counter of the meeting. Grammarian, Toastmaster Radha Thambuswamy. Ma'am, we are
Yes,
waiting for your grammarian report. Go ahead, please.
Is my screen visible? Okay. This was today a zealous meeting, and the speech was so wonderful. There was not much not so good usages. There are many so good usages. And by Arun Kumar, sleep deprived, and Paul Bhaskaran, charter member, and he's the one who used the word for the day, zealous, twice, and theme of the day. And to the speaker, Jyoti Thomas, I relate to my English ma'am reciting a Shakespeare's poem. Her speech was like that. I could quote many of her words. Like, she is such a pain, soon time to goodbye, rights of Indian. Like coming to my mentor Abhishek, and here we have his usages: depleting the electronic, inclusion technique, and go green. This is one of my favorite. Even I used to use this often. Go green. moving forward, in the evaluators, Toastmaster Sasi Kumar start into the groove and incultivate are some of the usages, good usages of the words. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. The grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Radha Tampaswamy. It's my turn now to generally evaluate the entire meeting. My team definitely did a great job. I'm talking about all the three evaluators. I have no business to get into the evaluation part. They have done their job well. Except I thought a couple of places I thought I will share my wisdom. What was that? Yes. In fact, even I would even pull up the TMOD as well as the evaluator of our first speaker. When she was being introduced, I'm talking about Toastmaster Jyoti. Charter member, right? Charter member of a club, which is meeting for the 592nd time today. And she's delivering an icebreaker. Lot of questions hanging over everybody's head, especially the guests. Why no one paid attention to it to say, how come a charter member on the 592nd meeting is doing an icebreaker? So what is the background? One line definitely would have cleared a lot of clouds. Anyway, I don't know whether it is customary not to tell people that she's a DTM already, or she has done so many projects and she's repeating on the new pathways. I don't know. Anyway, apart from that, Toastmaster Karthikeyan had a question. I mean, had one point, index finger pointing towards Toastmaster Abhishek. Why you did not wait for an answer when you put up a question? I think my old school of thoughts and in the present school of thoughts also is talking about something called a rhetoric device. A rhetoric device is a device through which the speaker comes out with a question, but it does not mean that he has to wait for an answer. Imagine if he's going to have 2 or 3 rhetoric devices in a speech and wait for the answer, that itself will consume 5 minutes. So that way, I think what the speaker did was right. And Karthikeyan also brought up that question rightly. But if it is the intentional rhetoric device, I think the speaker did it perfectly well. I have nothing more to talk about the evaluators. I'll start from the agenda. A beautiful agenda, very clear, very well done, except that for a guest, you know, I have a collection of 1,100 agenda sheets with me. That was when, you know, the pre-COVID meetings, you have that agenda, the printed one, especially in countries like Gulf. I collect them. And then I make a note that I was the best speaker, I was the best TT master, blah, 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 and then collect. If I now add this agenda to my collection, I would not know the number of the meeting. What is this meeting is all about? I did not find 592 anywhere in the agenda. Or I don't know whether that is customary in your club. I'm not very sure. Okay. And then a club of this repute, I don't know why should you clearly 2-3 lines it consumes to tell them what a TT master will do, what is the speaker doing, what a GE will be doing. I don't think all those things are required unless the agenda is being sent to guests well in advance. It's not being done, right? Guests are always guests. They come in for a surprise, and so the agenda can even be abridged, brought into exactly one A4 sheet, which will definitely be a feel-good factor, especially when you're trying to read it on a telephone, on a mobile. more than a sheet is definitely a pain. Why I'm talking about pain? You remember the first speaker, Toastmaster Jyoti, talked about she is a pain, and then the grammarian went to the extent of adding it to the best usages. That is why I brought that pain. These things can happen only in Toastmasters. No hard and no hard rules or whatever. But then that was very nice. Grammarian, credit to you. Okay. Secretary's report was coolly missed, completely sidelined. I am at sea. Why? Secretary's report will definitely help somebody like me, a rank outsider who's coming in for the first time to do a critical evaluation. I would know, I would probably have better insights of the club when I get to hear the secretary's report of the previous meeting. When I saw the agenda, I was so happy. Wow, here is the secretary's report, the very beginning of the meeting, but then nobody talked about it, including the secretary who was supposed to deliver it. That's okay, but I hope the secretary's reports are being sent to every member probably after the meeting. I'm not very sure. All right. Attendees, I'm a bit intrigued. Why for such a club? Why only 16? That too on a Saturday evening. Is it the normal way it happens? Or why is it? Possibly the presiding officer will have an explanation or a kind of a special request for the others to make it. Something like that. Okay. Mention about TMOD. I know this TMOD very well, and then we all know, though he comes out with a very special emphasis on his voice modulation, the animated way to pep up the meeting, but still the bottom line was the TMOD has been cool as a cucumber. See the way he's seated, the sitting posture, cool. Great job by the TMOD. Having talked about almost all the role players whom I wanted to talk about, I'll be failing in my duty if I don't talk about the SAA. The Sergeant Arms, I don't know whether she's a K2 kid or a millennial, I'm not sure. But what a way to start. The intent was there. The conviction was there. I'm talking about the very start of the meeting without missing anything, including the SRP. I'm talking about the sex, religion, politics. The entire script was very well done. And of course, she's blessed with a good voice, a good language skills and all that. And for somebody like that, such an enthusiastic youngster as a SAA for your club, COVID could be a great blessing. If you are really serious about it, you can by heart that entire script and try to deliver it before we go out of COVID and it becomes a reality meeting, isn't it? It is only a suggestion, but there is nothing wrong. Yes? Because I can't put you in a corner, put you in a spot, because I thought SAA's job was well done, but then the table topics master's job was better than the opening of the meeting. I tell you why. She was so conscious about the timing and she could accommodate so many of them. You know why? She never had that customary way of a table topics master. Bring in every table topic, every topics in between, and then show your creativity, your whatnot, your intelligence in cornering the people. No, one question, that's it. Like AK-47, we were all barging in to answer. So many people were accommodated. A great job. Probably somebody like me, somebody like senior Toastmasters, a great take home today from this wonderful youngster. Whoever is training her, whoever is a coach or whatever, great job. These are the people who will keep such clubs on Cloud9 ever. That's it for me from my side. I loved being a GE and I always love doing my job. I'm honored. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Guna. Audience, can you please unmute and then give a thunderous round of applause for the general evaluator for his wonderful, for sharing his wisdoms towards running of our meeting. We'll take all the tips and techniques you shared, Toastmaster Guna. We will take this into consideration, surely, in our future meetings. And before I hand over this screen to the president, I was sharing this theme with my friend. Love what you do, what do you think? What he said, jocularly, if you love what you do, it's not your job. It is your love affair. With this note, I hand this over to Mr. President. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paul Bhaskaran. It was indeed a great meeting, and we used to have this general evaluator from different clubs for the very reason that we want a critical evaluation. At the same time, we are indeed ready to change and modify wherever necessary. So the great feedback from general evaluator Guna would help us to improvise and be better the next time. Now coming on, I would like to call upon Area Director Vaishali to spend some time and give her thoughts on how the meeting went. Today is actually a Area Director visit. So, yeah. Vaishali?
Yeah, we were not able to hear few of your sentence work.
No, I was just telling, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling, would like to listen it from Area Director on today's meeting.
Am I audible? Yes? Yeah. The crew of Wordsmith, especially I love the icebreaker speech. I haven't seen someone delivering an icebreaker with so much of emotions. It was not just like witnessing a speech, but a kind of a mono act that the person is going to narrate about their entire journey. So this is what happens when you step into a club that has got a lot of lineage and legacy. You tend to learn a lot of things from people and carry away and present it elsewhere. And once again, Toastmaster Guna, as always, sir, you are the only person who tests everything so meticulously at another report. And Paul Bhaskaran, the person who has always been the mentor to our club, someone I always look forward. And Reena, ma'am, it is so good to have your evaluation after a very long time, ma'am. It's really, really a pleasure to listen to you as always. So thank you, Wordsmith family, to have conducting this meeting once again. And I was calling out being one of the heavily loaded clubs in Chennai, the count and other things. So I think that is somewhere as an area director, the president, and of course all the members, we have to start looking why people are not able to turn up that door on a Saturday evening. So those are the few things that we actually have to start looking up. Because for corporate clubs, normally what it happens is we are just handful. So we come, we don't come, it doesn't matter at all. But for community audience, it's completely different. This is the place where there is a lot of diversity, a lot of learning. People from 16 to 60s, we have got this wide range of people who come and share their experiences and other stuff. So let us work on those aspects and see how better we can make Wordsmith a place for learning to all the members and also for the fraternity as a whole. Looking for the support as always. So I just have a power disruption again. So with that, I end it to it and hand it over back to the presiding.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. So if you can all turn on your video before Vaishali leaves, can we have a pic taken? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vaishali.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you.
Now it's time
Good
to
evening and
listen.
happy weekend to all of you. I'm signing off right now for another commitment I have made. So I'll be stepping back to Wordsmith as soon as possible. And one final announcement I wanted to make is the area contest is on October 4th, the same time slot of the timing of the club. The very purpose of having that time slot was because both of the clubs in the area, HCL and Wordsmith, have your regular meetings on that time, so that we will have a great amount of audience to come and witness, encourage the people who are participating at the next level. So looking forward to have all of you on October 4th, Saturday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. With that, as I always say, keep coming, keep speaking, keep listening, and never stop learning. So signing off, see you all again at any other time. Take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Bye.
Thank you so much. Now let's go on to listen from the guests. Karthikeni, can you please share your experience today in the meeting? Karthikeni? Can we hear it from Venkatesh?
Once again, good evening to all. It was one of the wonderful meeting I have attended. There were a lot of takeaways from this meeting. And also by the time I was reading the agenda, icebreaker, and once the speaker, when Jyoti started to speak, I was wondering, is it an icebreaker speech or someone is practicing for the world championship? It was such a wonderful speech. And also from the evaluators, Guna sir and Shashi Kumar, a lot of feedbacks for the speakers, be it for Abhishek or from the Reenama. It was wonderful, and really I have enjoyed it a lot. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much. Can we hear it from the guest, Radhika? Guest Radhika? I think she's not available. Okay. And I would like to also tell you that we have this customary practice of appreciating the first timers. Today we have Jyoti Thomas, who has given her icebreaker. It's not the first time, but she's a reinstated member for clarification to the guests and GE. She joined in the month of August, and she's giving her first icebreaker speech. So let's all give a round of applause for Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas.
Thank you. That was after 10 years, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Yeah. And so the announcements, we have our area contest on the month of October 4th at the same time, 4 p.m. And we have four speakers, including me, who is going to be participating in the area contest. So let's try to encourage members to participate more and get that practice. And moreover, we are planning to have new things added up in the meeting, bring on varieties to increase the guest appearance, the attendance more, as well as the members attendance more as well. It's been a bit of challenge with online meetings for over 6 months now, and definitely we have to find a way to have more audiences for the upcoming meetings. Now, I also want to acknowledge General Evaluator Guna, who had come from Ambattur Achievers, for giving his valuable thoughts. Thank you so much. This is exactly what we want from the general evaluators coming from the external clubs, because having the general evaluators from the same club would have repeated messages, and they would have the same things to say. But coming from the different club, you have different perspectives, you have seen different things. So anything that is positive for the club would always be taken care and would be implemented in the further meetings. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, President. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Another announcement that I have is the renewal is in progress. If you have not renewed, kindly do as soon as possible. BP membership Anindita would get in touch with you, and it's time. Also, Samyukta is the sub member. I mean, she's also part of the subcommittee, and she would also get in touch with you for the membership. With that, I think we have come to the end of the meeting, and I would like to adjourn the meeting to September 26th. And I mean, I forgot to give the results away. So today we have the people who perform the best. The best speaker of the day is Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Congratulations, ma'am. It was an icebreaker that did not look like an icebreaker. And we have the table topic winner today. And the winner is Distinguished Toastmaster Reena. Congratulations, Reena. And the best evaluator today is Toastmaster Shashi Kumar for his laser sharp evaluation, and all the best, sir, for your evaluations in the area contest as well. Looking forward to see the best in you. And we have the best role player today, GE Guna, and I would say I would give you another soft copy with meeting number 592 put in there, and this is going to be there immediately addressed. And the best role player is myself, but to be frank, I also take apologies now. I was doing both the things, like sharing the screen as well as the timer. I was doing the virtual background, which would be taken care in the future meetings as well. So with that, we have come to the end of the meeting, and I adjourn the meeting to September 26th. Thank you so much, and it's time for us to have some networking.